What's good, guys? Steve Action Jackson coming at you live representing Action Jack Fitness, and today's video is just gonna be kind of like a lesson, I guess. It's like my journey on how I got bigger and like the processes that it took for me to get to where I am now. Now I'm not like a professional in any way, shape or form. I'm not like a uh, I don't claim to know everything, but I am raw about the things that I go through and how I've gotten this far and my lifting career. And so I guess like to start off because I started when I was in high school, and if it's like anyone else who started in high school is usually like around age 16. That's around the time I started. I was in 10th grade at the time, and I didn't work out. Like I didn't work out with exercise. I just didn't work out. Like I didn't lift weights or anything like that. Um, except for football. Now I played football when I was during my freshman and sophomore year in high school, but then I kind of had to stop because of my pacemaker. Um, but after that, because I could squat like my very first year of lifting, I was able to squat over 440 pounds. Right now I like my highest squat like behind the back or behind the neck squatting is 460 something, like 465, I believe. It's around there, but I've hack squatted, I've done leg presses, and that like to get up there in the weight. I think it takes like years and years to actually like build build up a good foundation and build up a good amount of strength to get into like the hundreds of pounds. Now, when I first started like lifting, because my squat was probably like the one thing I was proud of, is like I could squat almost 450 pounds, and it was like I was up there with the big boys in high school, but I was still like 125 pounds. So it was like it was a good accomplishment for me. Wasn't that great for anyone else. Um, I could deadlift like in this is just in high school alone. Like I used to be able well back then when I had strong body. I would do around like 300 pound range. Like the last time I deadlifted in high school was like I deadlifted around 360 pounds, and I was happy with that number. I was happy with that because it's like that was like my starting point. Um, Now I'm not gonna say that it was easy because like it takes years to actually like get up there in the weight, and like even after like the 9 to 10 years that I've been lifting, I can tell you guys right now, I see people who like advanced that there's some exercises where they can't even lift more than like 275 pounds or like 300 pounds. And then that includes like bigger guys, heavier guys. Like I weigh 195 to 197 pounds. Um, but I I started my weight loss at 207, so I'm right around like 10 to 13 pounds lighter than I was. Um, but in 2011, that's when I started serious lifting. Right after school, right after high school, in October of 2011, that's when I went to college in July and or June, yeah June. I went to college in June, and I just like first I bought a weight set, and I still have those same dumbbells. Um, I bought a weight set. I was lifting with those. I bought a door home gym. I bought several door home gyms just because sometimes they break, and yeah, they just break. Um Sometimes like when they're at the top of the door, like between this line. But this was at my old house, so like this is a few years ago. But between this, the line right here, the top of the door, and the part of the wall, the resistance band part, it wasn't like it wasn't rubber, it was like a threaded kind of resistance band, but it could stretch though, so it was elastic. That part would break. And so, if you go back in like some of my videos, you can see those home gyms that I had on my door, and my dumbbells. Now, fast forward to like going to college. So in 20, whoa, fast forward to like my first year in college. So in 2012, that was like my first full year in college. Because I did summer school in 2011, and then like 2012, I went back to back to school the next semester, and then I kept going. But I bought my bench, which is still here. And I have my bar, and I bought, I think it's like 100 pounds of weight for just like I want to say like Teflon coated um plates that I have, and then I have 80 pounds of like the cement plates, and then I have like other plates too, and altogether I have about 200 to 220 pounds of weight. And what I did was I started squatting. I started squatting with those. I started doing leg presses, and just like gradually working up to like where I am right now. Like the most amount of weight that I've ever done, and this was just this year at the beginning of the year in July, or in not July, in January, I did 685 pounds for a leg press at the gym. And there were probably like three or four other people around me just watching me do this because I didn't have a belt or any knee wraps on. Um, and it's more like a technique, I guess you could say. Um, but yeah, like there were, before I even got like a membership, I would work out between like 3 to 4 hours. I would put on like a bodybuilding documentary, or like just a movie, like a battle for the gold, like 1988, or like pumping iron, or just like something like that. um I don't know, like a Kai Green documentary or Jay Cutler documentary, even Ronnie Coleman. Like I would watch those. I watched um Kevin Levroni's documentaries. I would just watch them. I haven't watched documentaries involving steroids and bodybuilding. Um, Bigger, stronger, faster, things like that, and it just get me through that like 3 to 4 hours, because I wouldn't pay attention to the time, so it could be like 10 o'clock in the morning, and by like 3 or 4 o'clock, I'm just getting done. And like I just go in there, go in my garage, get some water, get a big cup of water, and I would just drink that as I go. And I have like my own types of workouts where I'll do like Sin Sunday. If you go back in time to some of my earlier videos, you can see my Sin Sunday videos. Um, I had this park workout that I would do where it was push ups, dips, and I think there was planks involved and some other stuff. And I just did that. I allow other people to go with me to the park or meet me there, and we just do that together. Now when it came to like lifting weights, we'll work out with my friends, and I work out with my best friend, and basically I go to his house. We go into their garage, and we just like would lift. We do like lat pull downs, bicep curls, bench press, I think flies and chest press. I'm not sure, but we did leg presses, and we were doing like plates on plates, and it just like it felt natural doing it like that. Now, over time, because when you work with someone for like years, eventually, like down the road, one of us stops, and it could be for any reason really. But for my best friend, he stopped. I was training him for a while, for probably like half a year, and then he just stopped going to the gym altogether. and I had to like show him discipline. Like I had to show him discipline. I had to like show him that he had to be patient because he had a goal. Like my friend was like a bigger dude, like in the high 200 pounds range, and he had a goal. Like he wanted to be down to where I was at the time, and so we were going hard. We were going very hard, and we were working out and just like doing the best we could because it was fun, but at the same time it was rough. Um, Now today, like fast forward to today, I want to talk about how I've developed most of the muscles that I have right now because it took me a while to like learn different ways that I can implement exercises to specific body parts and not get hurt. And so, um, whenever I go to the gym, I always start off like the first like couple of days of the week. I usually start off with like my back, and I or my shoulders, so like my arms or my back. And typically, I'll do like lat pull downs, um, mid rows, seated rows, um, low rows. I do um I want to say like reverse flies too. And then like for my shoulders, typically I'll do like front and lateral raises. I'll do um like with a plate, just a plate in general, like a weighted plate. I'll do front raises and then I'll do kind of like front shoulder presses, and then for my rear delts, because I just started doing my rear delts. Like I've been working on my shoulders all year and some part of last year, but I became more serious about it this year because I saw I'm lacking in the shoulder department. I'm like I have my chest, I have like my arms and all that, but my shoulders, um you can see it's not as developed, and so I wanted to like work that out, and so I started targeting my shoulders, and it's not difficult, but it's more like trying to figure out which exercises to do because I was doing like shoulder presses with dumbbells, but then it got to the point where my lats would be in the workout, and I kind of got like that, like my lats would kind of flare up a little bit. Not really flare up, but like I could feel the pull when I would do the motion, and it start burning. And so I stopped doing that with dumbbells because it's like it's isolated, and like just trying to figure out like the weight distribution. It got difficult, and so I started just using like a machine and using a plate because like with a weighted plate you have to balance both arms at the same time and they have to move in unison. Otherwise, like if you're like this lopsided, one shoulder is going to be overworked while the other shoulder is going to be underworked. It took my lats out of the equation, but then I just like I prefer doing it like this because to me, I'm like, okay, first I'm raising it, doing front raises with it, and so I'm trying to look through the middle part where the bar goes through the little circle. I'm looking through that part, and at the same time, when I'm doing front presses or shoulder presses in front, I'm looking through the top of like looking through that little hole with bar goes through. I'm looking through it like that, and so back then that it was like the one exercise that or two exercises I guess you could call it, two exercises that I trusted the most because it wasn't involving my lats. Now when it came to my chest, like I talked about how to get like a good inner pec and outer pec, I guess, but I didn't really tell you guys about how I got my chest. So I did make a video about it though. I made like two videos about how to get like a good chest. And so I want to talk about how I did my chest. So it took me a while to figure out how to do like flies to not get my not be like this, but to be relaxed. To be relaxed doing flies. I can't go like super far back because I'm afraid I'm gonna like tear my pec tendon or whatever. But basically keep your arms like this the whole time and just come in. And eventually what it does is it's like like your pecs like this and then it goes like that. It's basically like it's squeezing it together so it'll press it out more and you get that thickness. And then like doing I do like chest presses too, where like with dumbbells, I'll just have them like a neutral position, and then I just come up and squeeze. But it's almost as if you're hugging someone, and so it kind of that's what worked for me. Um, when it comes to like cable flies, I can't really do them that well. Like I do them, but it makes my shoulders hurt. To be fair and be honest, it makes my shoulders hurt. And I do them every once in a while, but I don't really like incorporate them into my chest as much. But I do use a lot of machine work. Like I'll do there's a machine that I use where you push your feet onto the little foot pad, and then as you push that, you extend your arms, and then you take your feet off, and you're doing chest presses. Um, I do incline chest press where you like the it's basically like the bars down here, and you're just pushing up. But the key that I learned is to not lock your elbows. Don't lock your elbows out, but to keep constant tension on the chest because that's pretty much how it grows. Like that's to me that's how it grows. Um Occasionally I'll do like upper pecs, but I've noticed like not a lot of guys, even some women that work out their chest, they don't have like that upper pec development. Like some of them do it. I think it looks cool and all that. Like you can see, I don't have very good upper pec development, but I have some though, and that's just from doing incline chest press and like some bench press. I'm not really a fan of bench pressing to be honest because I've seen people tear their pec tendon doing that. Um, it scares me. It definitely scares me seeing stuff like that. And it's cringy to say the least, but it's scary. Like seeing someone tear a pec tendon because they were like bench press, or like seeing someone tear a bicep tendon, or doing a tearing their hamstrings or even a quad tear. So these are some of the most serious injuries I've ever seen. Like I haven't seen a quad tear like live and in front of me, live and direct, but I have seen a bicep and a pec tendon tear, and not in like the same time frame, but like spanned out a couple of months from each other. Um, and it just gives me like ideas of what not to do, what to avoid. Um, like when it comes to, I guess, deadlifting, I never go like one hand over and one hand under. Like when I was in high school, that's what my football coaches would tell me. Like do one hand under and one hand over. But then over the years, like I started noticing like video after video of people tearing their bicep tendon because of that same hand position. And so I stopped doing that, and then just like my overall pick would be this, like the overhand. But yeah, I guess that's the end of this part of the video. So I'm gonna put like a part two, probably like tomorrow or like later on, because I'm almost at 20 minutes. But yeah, I'll discuss with you guys how I got my legs to semi grow, and um that's pretty much it. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. I'm out.